Yeah, another good race was the Open 500, which went the way of this young man right here.
Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant, brilliant effort indeed. So Henry lobbed it, did he?
Down at the paddock, unfortunately.
Okay, all right. So that's blotted his copybook then, but Henry's okay, we think, yeah? Okay, all good. All right, well done in the Open 500. So the lights are on red, and now we go to green, and we're away racing with the first start. Let's watch him safely off the line, and looks like our pole position man has got away best of all. Lucas King, another NW Racing graduate, leads the way up the hill there as the MZs get underway, and it's Alexander Mann who's heading the field here as a field of MZs scream their way towards the first corner for the first of 10 laps here. Down the hill we come then. Lucas still leading there, mate?
Yeah, certainly he is, and that's looks like Baker there in second position. Marco Holt, I think, is there in the mix as well, and everybody through safely, which is always good to report down there at the Graham Hill Bend and going into 30s on this opening lap of 10. But it's Alexander Mann who still leads in the MZs as they approach that braking zone for the third turn there, Graham Hill Bend. But it is Andy Wales up next ahead of Gordon Ryan, who's had a good weekend so far. Been on the podium in all three races as Gordon Ryan in the MZs.
I think the MZs had the same podium each time, hasn't it? I think it's been a Mann, Wales, Ryan podium each time. So Chris Kent normally goes strongly here at Brands Hatch. Usually can't put together a full season because unfortunately work commitments see him usually doing underwater welding and stuff in the Far East or something quite exotic like that. But whenever he turns up, he's usually pretty quick. But he did text me and say he's had some machine issues, which unfortunately have forestalled him just a little bit this weekend, which is unfortunate for him. However, he is still going to tip the fight in and try and take it to that 13 machine of Gordon Ryan. Out in front, King leads Holt, Baker, Garrett and Huskinson. Huskinson, the leading senior here. And you've got to think if Danny's going to show up at every round, he's going to be hard to beat. I know Max Hardy's not going to be doing every round, and obviously we've got a very damaged club bike to go with his damaged Fireblade and his damaged MT-09. So it's not been a good string of results. And Mr. Hardy, the reigning Milano Trophy winner. Bit of slipstreaming work going on here as Baker looks to go past on Holt. Holt, though, the fastest man on the circuit there with a 55.5. So not quite the magic 54 brackets, but it is very windy out there indeed. Was the wind affecting you very much at all out there?
Yeah, it was quite windy going through Graham Hill Bend and Paddock Hill. And 30s, just struggling to get the bike to turn because the wind was just trying to push to the outside whenever it could.
And yours, of course, is a relatively light bike, which, of course, these are even lighter as well, aren't they? So you wouldn't be surprised to see them struggling just a little bit with the conditions here. Certainly a cracking pace at the front, the three of them matching each other blow for blow. That breakaway group coming off of Clearways onto Clark Curve. Everybody trying to play the slipstream battle as best they can. Trouble is, you pull out of the slipstream and get the headwind, it could be really hard work trying to get past someone. Here we go then, over the line once again, no change. It is still King, Holt and Baker. Behind them, the battle continues between Garrett, Huskinson and McCarthy. Bray and Round have swapped places as William goes back one place and Ben goes up one. Cowie, Gleeson, Farrell, Brunson and King all still in the same order as well. MZs are making their way towards us in just a moment, and let's see, has Alexander Mann done his best to clear out as per usual?
Certainly has. He leads by half a second over Andy Wales. Gordon Ryan still there in third position. Next up there goes Chris Kent on the number 96, John Ashmead, and then the 102 of Caleb Wright is there in sixth position at the moment in class. But the leaders of the Ninjas heading around Clearways now, and it looks like a change of the race lead there because I can see the orange bib of Lucas King, number 16, in the sandwich between the black bikes with the white crash helmets. So it's going to be a 3 wide as they come out onto the start-finish straight yet again, and it's Marco Holt with the advantage at the line, but with the inside line it's going to be Baker who takes the race lead. So the 1-2-4 machine of Harley Baker, who took the victory earlier on today, he leads the race now as they go through the dip and around Druid. There is a slower MZ coming into play here, of course, the Ninja 400, a bit of a quicker machine than the 250 MZ, so they should find their way through as they go into Graham Hill Bend. 1, 2 and 3 all through now as Harley Baker and Marco Holt and Lucas King all find their way through. Next up will be Alfie Garrett, and I think that's Annabelle McCarthy up next, fourth in class and fourth overall. In fact, he's just dropped down to fifth now as Alfie Garrett did find a way through on that lap.
Just had a bit of advice come through from the clerk of the course. We're expecting rain within the next hour, so they've asked everybody to be ready to make some rapid tyre changes, because obviously we are running a very tight schedule here today due to the carryover races from yesterday, and the rain is just going to be another spanner in our works. So hopefully we won't be too delayed. And
Lucas King up the inside of Marco Holt. It was his, well, I can say took the front there unfortunately earlier on, but didn't seem to be slowing him down because he goes to the race lead at Druids, Keith, and there is an MZ coming into play here as well. So Lucas King will get there first on bike number 16. That's Marco Holt just pulling to the inside, and Harley Baker trying to find his way through as well, but to no avail. So it is Lucas King who leads ahead of Harley Baker and Marco Holt in that order.
Okay, just watching him up through Surtees there, and it is nose to tail stuff all the way around, and again another bunch of back markers, rookie riders coming into play here. We've seen the rookies make, the back markers make quite a bit of difference to quite a few races this weekend. Fortunately, they're catching them on what we laughingly call a straight here at Brands Hatch, so hopefully they won't have any part to play other than they're being used as good draft things, that's for sure. Down into Paddock Hill we go, and yep, the top three are safely through. Slightly spread out a little bit though, the gap's out between, nearly half a second between the three of them there.
Put the checker flag up now.
Yeah, and I tell you what though, King's done a brilliant job. He's actually set his fastest lap going through the traffic there. He's passed 3 or 4 bikes, made up 2 places, and taking the lead of the race. That was a brilliant move by Lucas.
Clear track in front of him now is all wide and off onto the green stuff. That's Harley Baker, as is Marco Holt as well. Alfie Garrod going around the outside of one of the MZs as well. Looks like Danny Huskinson and Dan Breo getting into the mix there as well, further down the order. So that is 4th place down to 7th place there as they go through Surtees and on towards Clearways now. But it is a leading trio coming around onto Clark Curve. We may have 1, maybe 2 MZs that will come into play in the following 3 laps, but side-by-side action between Lucas King, bike number 16, and the 124 machine of Harley Baker. And across the line, interestingly enough, it gives the lead to Baker.
Yep, sure did. Gave it to Harley there, so let's see if he can capitalise on the timing screen there. You're right, the backmarkers have still got a lot of part to play, not just the MZs, but some of their own slower riders as well, because some of these rookies are ridiculously quick and very experienced racers in their own right. Some of them are just starting out racing, of course. So it happens to the MZs as well. They'll catch some of the slower ninjas as well. And it looks like we've got a little bit of a break at the front there, only by fractions of a second. Oh, the 3 of them, although, managed to trip over the timing beam pretty much simultaneously. There's another back marker.
They were punching the way through there as it went into Surtees. It looked like Graham Lewis, number 66. He is currently running strong in the MZ. 7th in the MZ is number 166, Graham Lewis. But the Ninja's back coming across the line now to start the penultimate lap. And it is Harley Baker who leads from Lucas King by 1/10 of a second, and Marco Holt still there with them. He's 3/10 of a second behind, but of course with 2 laps to go, anything can happen as they go through the dip and up towards Druids. And it's Lucas King who, cool, around the outside there was it of Baker. He's the new race leader, Keith.
That's a great move there. Really didn't expect that one to come off, but he did it brilliantly. Down the hill we go, past another back marker. This could be costly for Holt there. He hasn't punched his way through quite as quick as the other 2. They're slipstreaming each other beautifully. Each one getting the most off the other. Up to Surtees they go, nose to tail once again. So little to choose between them as we find our way off to Clark Curve once again. Now, can you slipstream somebody from there to here? That's the big question, of course. Got to get that drive, got to be that little bit quicker. Just get those few last herbs out. Here we go then, it is the last lap. Over the line we go. The timing screen tells us that Lucas King is leading the way from Harley Baker, but Harley would like to see that reverse before the end of the race. They're going up the hill towards Druids. There's 2 slower bikes ahead of them. They'll probably catch them before the end of the lap. Hope that's the last of the back markers we've got to contend with. Around Druids we come then. The power gets poured on. Even on these little bikes, you can high side if it goes horribly wrong. Into Graham Hill. Nobody's getting held up there. Oh, Harley Baker, though, gets good drive. He's looking for a toe down the back straight. King is trying to hold him off. They're trying to get past the back markers as well. King goes punching his way through underneath. but Baker follows him. Baker's got a slightly higher line. Is that going to give him an advantage? I wonder if King's going to get held up a little bit by the back marker. He goes round out. Oh! And unfortunately, Baker's decided to go for a quick trip through the gravel. He does the full Earth, Sky, Jesus loves you moment. And unfortunately, Harley, chances of winning this race have just gone south as he collides with the back marker. And it is Lucas King ahead of Marcus Holt over the line. That means Alfie Garrett is going to end up on the podium for, I'm not sure if that's the first time this weekend, but I think it might be. What do you got there, Bradley?
Yeah, Alfie Garrett got a 5th yesterday and a 5th earlier on, and then it was a 4th.
Yep, so first podium for the weekend there, and then Annabelle McCarthy up next, then Dan Bray, go on, mate.
Just a quick one, Harley Baker is up and on his feet. He's just behind the Armco now, the tyre wall now.